Execute Order 67.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at 10 TV references in LEGO games.
It serves as the comfortable home for a family of orphan cartoon characters.
Did you find any of these shoutouts to the small screen for yourself? Let us know down in the comments. Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. From another place in space and time. This one might be a little hard to notice on the first go due to how many visual effects and objects are flying all over the screen, but to see for yourself, you will need to have reached the 7th level of the first LEGO Marvel game. Bifrosty Reception will start you off with an on-rails segment where you must collect studs and avoid debris. One of the objects that can hit you is a blue telephone booth. Of course, any Whovian will recognize this as the TARDIS. We wouldn't be surprised if Thor ever crossed paths with it during his travels to and from Earth and Asgard. Execute Order 67.
Execute Order 67.
Yes, my lord.
No, not 67. Order 66.
Yeah, we're kind of kicking ourselves in the pants for not including this in our first batch of Skywalker Saga videos, but yes, there is a Robot Chicken reference in the game. When the time to execute the Jedi approaches, Palpatine contacts the clones but issues the wrong order. In Robot Chicken, Order 67 is the order Palpatine gives to the Ewoks as the Sith Lord plummets to his death. Only thing we need to know now is what Order 68 was.
Oh, so yes! Right, Palpy. You so manipulated me. Okay, Papi.
What a wonderful kind of day. We know the LEGO games have referenced Sesame Street a couple of times, but we never anticipated Arthur, of all little kids shows, to get a nod. For the Bowtie Bandit Challenge, you will need to fly around Gotham, Metropolis, and the other areas in search of purple and green bow ties. The hint for one of these locations is, being cool isn't hard when you've got a library card. If you've ever watched Arthur as a kid, you know the library card song.
Having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card.
About as original as it gets.
You want me to shovel all that snow? That's too...
Speaking of odd choices to reference in a LEGO game, LEGO Marvel 2 makes almost no effort to hide a nod to one of the best Netflix shows ever made. As you make your way around the snowy and scaled down Manhattan, you might hear a woman complain about shoveling snow before uttering, "That's too much, man." In BoJack Horseman, this line was the catchphrase of Sabrina, the character Sarah Lynn played in Horsin' Around. Thankfully, the line might be a tad too general for kids to pick up. Unless they're watching this video. Forget what we said, kiddos. Pure parroting.
I would have shuffled off my mortal coil, picked the bucket, and popped my clogs. Taking a dirt nap, I'd have been pushing up the daisies.
Among all the references to Spielberg movies, there is one nod to a TV show that actually has nothing to do with Spielberg. And no, we aren't talking about that weird playable Jimmy Fallon character. Why is he in this game again? No, what we're talking about is actually a reference to the Dead Parrot sketch famously featured in Monty Python's Flying Circus. In the level known as The Hunted, one of the hunters you rescue will go on their own rant, similar to how John Cleese's character rants about his purchased parrot being no more.
Polly Parrot, wake up! Polly!
A little corner of fame.
You know, a while back, this place was in a very famous TV show.
Fans of the TV series Smallville probably got a kick out of this tiny town's appearance in LEGO DC Supervillains, but in case that wasn't enough for some folks, they threw in a reference in a somewhat tongue-in-cheek manner. As you wander around, one of the NPCs might mention how the place was featured in a famous TV show. By this point, who hasn't heard of Smallville? Obviously, it's been featured in many other films, TV, and movies based on DC Comics, yet the call out here is just too on the nose for it to be anything else.
You know, back in the noughties, this place was in a very famous TV show.
No OJ and champagne classes here.
Pipe down, Bessie. I'm telling this story.
TT Games loves to slip in those one-liners borrowed from pop culture, and this one almost flew right over our heads. In LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2, you will find Blade alongside the absurd Hell Cow, and he will explain to you how the two of them met. To start the story, he will use a line from the opening theme of a very famous sitcom.
Just after the world got turned upside down.
Yep, Blade just dropped a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reference. There's no mistaking it.
Now this is a story all about how my life got turned upside down.
Primetime opinions from a loon. It was already strange seeing Daffy Duck in a LEGO game, though we get that it's a reference to the Duck Dodgers episode where Dodgers meets the Green Lantern Corps. I'm a Looney Tunes dork, I know. However, what really threw us for a whirl was the Family Guy reference he makes before one of his tours. Those who watched Family Guy back in its early days will recall the Stewie Be Good episode where Peter gets his own segment on Quahog 5 and starts it off with, "You know what really grinds my gears every time." The Water Tower Residence.
Serves as a comfortable home for a family of orphan cartoon characters.
For this one, all you need to do is go back to Smallville. One of the NPCs will make a very strange remark about imagining that the town's water tower is housing, quote, "a family of orphaned cartoon characters," end quote. Some have confused this for a Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends reference, but considering the fact that this is a water tower we're talking about, there's only one group of characters that we can think of. That zany to the max trio with baloney in their slacks, the Animaniacs. LEGO Anime?
Surrender now, or prepare to fight!
Okay, we're not about to point out something crazy like Gurren Lagann reference or an Evangelion cameo or whatever. Those would be cool though. But that's for our anime man Ashley to dig for. But the fact that Modam quotes a line from the Pokemon anime was beyond our expectations. Once her boss fight begins, she will tell you to, quote, "surrender now or prepare to fight," end quote. If you somehow have never seen any episode of the Pokemon anime, this is the line Team Rocket says every time they ambush Ash, Pikachu, and friends. Now the foot is already in the door. When are we getting a LEGO Pokemon game?
To extend our reach to the stars above.
Jesse,
James.
Team Rocket, blast off at the speed of light!
Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.